The surge in BLM protests demanded that American policing and criminal justice change. And it did lead to a rare murder conviction of the officer who killed George Floyd.
An officer pressed his knee into Floyd's neck for at least 7 minutes.
A knee that says black life does not matter.
The death of a woman named Breonna Taylor.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Enough is enough.
For a time, many people did come together and say enough is enough. Some states did change some laws, reducing immunity for police, for example. Some officers were even put on trial. But here's the facts tonight. In America, police are still shooting unarmed people at similar or higher rates than when those protests broke out. Did you know last year had the highest number of police killings since they started tracking this 7 years ago? Those are the facts of how police escalate and kill people in what are deemed and documented as avoidable encounters, sometimes turning criminal because of police conduct. Now, the public opinion has shifted a bit here. We've talked about that. There are many ways that people do learn about these realities or even change their minds. If you don't live in an area that is over-policed, or if you don't look like the people who are disproportionately facing police brutality, you might know less about this. Now, some people follow news. You're watching the news. Some people follow politics. But history shows many people learn about America's sometimes hidden problems from culture or popular artists who use their influence to try to shine a light, like how many people learned about the controversial trial of boxer Hurricane Carter, who Bob Dylan documented in his 1976 civil rights anthem, Hurricane, just as the anti-war movement was narrated and really sometimes even shaped politically by songs like War and CCR's Fortunate Son. And long before most of elite and white America faced the facts of the lived reality of routine police brutality in this country, many artists forced the issue, with sometimes peaceful laments about government killings and sometimes provocative, aggressive anthems like F the Police. Now, for some music fans and hippies, maybe it can feel like that kind of musical protest has faded. Let me tell you something. In culture, just like in the news, it depends where you look and if you're listening. Are you? Because that brings us to some news tonight. Call it social justice news or music news, or don't worry about categorizing it and just listen. Because an artist, IDK, has a brand new protest song. It's not in record stores or streaming services. In a first ever for MSNBC, the song is debuting now on The Beat. We're going to hear part of the song in its exclusive music video, which includes a fictional artistic representation of police interactions. And then we will hear from IDK himself along with our friend Mark Thompson. Now we turn to the world premiere of IDK's Mr. Police.
I got you, but I have to
comply. We're gonna have a problem.
I don't want no problem, but you're
comply. Put your hand on the wheel.
My hand's on the wheels,
Set the
right
phone
here.
down on the
I
dash.
have to record this.
Mr. Police, how are you?
Yo, chill.
Don't you move.
Just like your clothes, you make me blue. I look both ways, I cross the street.
What are you doing today?
There was no one around, how did you see me? I take the ticket, Mr. Police.
All right, well, behave yourself. Don't make it worse next time.
Mr. Police, how do you do? You say I sped right past you. I opened signs, I thought I was fine. Hope I don't go to jail, said I read your mind. But this time
just sign the ticket. Just sign the ticket, sir. It's not that big of a deal. Just sign the ticket.
And I'm like, what the you mean? Got a up. Ain't no way that I believe.
I just respected you in all ways, sir.
All these pigs want to test me, trying to put me in a cuss. I'm on my bullet.
Get out of the car, sir.
The police.
All the way.
The police.
Relax. You hear me?
And we're joined by the singer and rapper behind Mr. Police, IDK. His new album featuring that song is F65. IDK also hosts Radio Clue on Apple Music and works with No Label Academy at Harvard. We're also joined by radio host and Reverend Mark Thompson, who has covered and advocated civil rights issues for years, to join us for this special conversation. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
What are you saying here in this new song?
So for me, you know, putting this record together came very organically, but it was really like talking about some of the things that I've witnessed and seen. You know, personally, I've come to a place where I'm no longer saying I don't feel that way towards the police, but I know there are a lot of people here who still feel that way, and this video is the reason why.
These kind of interactions, when they are real, they don't often even make the news. Why did you want to spotlight that sort of daily part of it?
Well, I think the great part about this art is I'm kind of giving you the feeling and showing you something that people go through, right? But the difference is we know that it doesn't end in a negative way because it's, you know, obviously just acting. I think a lot of the stuff that we see on social media only lasts a week or so because, you know, we see it, we forget about it. But when you put it in the form of a song, something that can live forever, now we're constantly reminded and hopefully it could bring change.
Well, first of all, brother, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's great. And when you all sent me the advanced clip before I came in here, I had to watch the whole thing to realize these were actors' portrayals. Mm-hmm. If you had not said that, if that had not, disclosure had not been there, that disclaimer, that looks like real everyday life. You could have said that this is actually what's happening in the streets every day.
When you look at overall misconduct, it's 12 times, we can put this up, 12 times more for Black Americans. So what does it mean for you to make a video? You have, and I always remind people of this, great part about music, you got all kinds of fans. You got all kinds of listeners.
For sure.
What does it mean for some of your listeners to look at that and go, wow, that might have never happened to them, and yet it's happening a lot?
Well, F65, this album is about having a conversation of what it feels like to be a person of color around the world with people who aren't considered of color, but the conversation is supposed to feel good. So that's why the music feels good. Mm-hmm. You know, it's supposed to be inviting because I feel like the change is going to now come from actually sitting down and having a good conversation about racial inequality as opposed to, you know, emotional or anger.
Music like this, what our brother has done, should inspire people to want to have dialogue, even with people who don't necessarily look like them. Mm-hmm. And then talk about what we really must do. And we really are not talking about that enough.
When we look at this now with a little context, having heard from you, IDK, let's go ahead and go in and see the second half here of this new music video, the rest of the track, the world premiere of Mr. Police.
Mr. Police, how are you? I know my rights. I know you question me, I don't know.
Driver's license?
My lawyer told me to close my eyes.
On the dash.
Guess I'm going on a trip.
Right there. Don't you move.
Mr. Police, I know where you live. I know.
You got it.
You got a wife and 4
Wife told me to take it easy on the camera.
couple mistresses and a guy on the side.
Can we have 2 Cardi B and Offset
I
combos?
tell them all, cause I'm goddamn tired.
See, they got Westbrook out there, man.
I'll be going on a ride. And I'm like, what the you need? Ain't no way that I believe. All these pigs wanna test me, trying to put me in such a car. On my boots. Mr. Police, how are you?
Yeah.
Where do we land by the end of it?
I mean, you know, we land in a place of kind of seeing, you know, it escalate from being harassed to being tired of being harassed, kind of retaliating in some sort of way. and then what that leads to, you know. And I think that a lot of some of the ways that I know friends of mine react to police come from PTSD, come from being taught by others, you know, how police tend to treat people. And then some of it's from what I had to deal with. You know, I've had my run-ins with the law, and I've been in prison and jail 4 times, you know, so I kind of understand that a lot.
As for the fatalities, 53% of unarmed people killed by the police were people of color.
Right.
That's all unarmed. And so you have this incredible brunt use of one of the state's greatest powers, which is execution on the spot, no trial. And it's overwhelmingly used against black and brown people in America. And this was discussed for a minute in 2020, and then it seems to have now been habituated back into just part of how this society is governed.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's the nature of the news cycle. IDK mentioned PTSD. No one who's African-American can watch this video, this music video, and not relate to the experience. And so this has to wake us up. And all of those who were incited in 2020 by George Floyd and maybe have become apathetic today need to get reignited.
I'm really glad you brought it to the beat so we could do a first of its kind premiere of this kind of work. Maybe it'll start a tradition. Yeah.